The Gina and Matty podcast.
Right now, we need to cross to the States. It is election day in the US. 83 million people already cast their votes before the polls even open. Now, millions of people will go through casting their votes. Here in Australia, we probably won't get an inkling of what's going on until a bit later on this afternoon. But to find out more and get a proper analysis, let's chat to Channel 7's US Correspondent Mylee Hogan, who I think I've been seeing her on Sunrise. She's in Philadelphia this morning. Hi, Mylee.
Hi, guys.
You're in Philly?
I am in Philly. I've been at one of the polling booths this morning, chatting away to voters who have been showing up to have their say in this very historic election that has had lots of twists and turns, but hopefully soon, when I say soon, I can't say exactly how soon we'll have a result.
Yeah, they're calling this as one of the closest ever. I saw Donald Trump out speaking this morning saying that Republicans are coming out in force. He's never seen anything like it, much bigger number than the Democrats. Trump says a lot of things. What are you seeing and hearing on the ground there in the States, Mylee?
Well, the big push has been to get people registered and get them out to vote. Obviously, voting in America is not compulsory, so that's a big part of the push of both of these campaigns is to get people out and to the polls. I've been out door knocking alongside some people just to see what they're getting up to when they're targeting different people. One of the Republicans' tactics has been to actually target registered Republicans who don't always vote to try to get them to come out because that's their tactic. They want to get as many people as they can. The Democrats, I think they knocked 100,000 doors in Pennsylvania in the last few days of this election. So it's all about making sure they can get as many people as possible to the polls because every single vote will count, especially in this crucial swing state.
Do you think people over there on the ground are nervous if Trump doesn't win? Like, do you think there'll be riots or are people scared?
There's definitely a feeling of anxiety among people about the election outcome. In Washington, D.C., they are putting up boards across businesses just in case there is any kind of political violence or rioting or those protests get out of control. There's definitely fears that violence will erupt. We know that they're putting on extra police, extra patrols are in place. People are on edge. They have seen politics descend into violence before in this country, and they're just waiting to see if this one will be a calm election.
And the thing that confuses me, which is so different in the sort of the process of the election in the States compared to, say, here at home, is that, say, Kamala Harris could win the national vote and still lose the election due to what they call the electoral college system, which is so confusing to me here. What can you make me understand that in a real easy FM radio kind of way, Mylee?
It is a difficult one to condense down, but basically you can win the popular vote but not win the election, and that's because of the electoral college process. Every single state has a number of electoral college votes, and it just varies depending on where you live. It can be based on population, but also not in some places. But what will happen is those will all get counted, and you need to get 270 to win. So that's why there's a lot of focus on places like Pennsylvania because it has 19, which is the most out of any battleground state. So that's why you'll see the candidates spending as much time as they have this campaign in a state like Pennsylvania.
Right. So when we hear the term battleground states, that's what that's in reference to. You've made that as clear as day for me, Mylee. I really appreciate it. We're going to keep an eye on all things happening on Channel 7 across the morning today. You're doing such a great job on Sunrise, and we'll stick around for your reports and, of course, throughout the day on Channel 7. Good luck with it all, Mylee, and hopefully we'll speak to you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Gina and Matty.
Over the weekend was the New York City Marathon. So it's one of the 7 majors now 7 majors. The Sydney Marathon earlier this week has been upgraded into one of the 7 majors of the marathon world, which is a big part.
How do you get to be in a major? Is it the number of people that run?
Gosh, it's a whole process. So it's the number of people, the place, the track, the vibe along the course. There's a whole lot of factors that come in to play to what, classes as a major. And some of my favourite things with marathons is the signs along the side of the road. Because there are some great ones. It's like, if you faint, I'll stop your Garmin. like things like that, or never trust a fart after 30 kilometres, right? That's another one that you see quite a bit.
Really?
Yeah, because, well, you know why. So I thought I'll run through some of my favourite signs from the New York City Marathon that I saw over the weekend. So let's pump out a little bit of Sinatra here.
Up to you, New York, New York.
Now, they do it in miles in the States, so it's 26.2 miles is the marathon. At the 26-mile mark, right before the finish, someone was holding a sign that said, Leo would have stopped at 25.
Who's Leo?
Oh, that one. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ah!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Next one. All this for him just to like your story. And I thought that was really good. Run fast or don't. It's none of my business, really. Run like your mum just said your full name. Pain is just the French word for bread.
These little town blues.
Paul, I want a divorce.
No.
Run like all the men in my life.
Oh.
I also like attention.
Gonna make a brand new start.
Run like your girl is asking for commitment. This sign could be for you next year. Take my number. And it was a whole bunch of, like, when you would see a taped around a telegraph pole. Music lessons?
Yeah.
Take a tab? Yeah.
I'm gonna make it.
There's 206 bones in the body. 207 when I see you running.
You, New York, New York.
My ex is also running. Can you trip him if you see him? There's a pregnant woman standing there holding a sign saying, I'm proof you know how to finish. And right at the end, there was a Hock 26.2 sign. That was the New York Marathon.
The Gina and Matty Podcast.
For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcast.com.au.